How to infuse more pleasure into your money. Hi and welcome. My name is Danielle and I am so glad to have you with me today. Maybe you clicked on this video because you want to see your money flow better and easier. You might be having some struggles like, why isn't my money flowing the way I need it to? Or maybe you clicked on this video because you do have a flow of money, but you're not experiencing the pleasure that you thought it would bring. In today's video, we're going to talk about three things. First, understanding the sacral chakra and its tie to your wealth. Understanding that inside of you, your sacral chakra is full of abundance. It is what brings you joy and pleasure, and it's also your point of attraction, attracting all parts of your life, especially your money. Number two, how to get your money to flow the way that you need it to. Harnessing this water sign and allowing money to flow in and out of you like a vessel. And number three, how to make money more fun and attractive, increasing that attraction so that money just wants to come to you. Money comes to you and says, oh my goodness, I like the way that you make me feel, because money is an energy too, not just ourselves. And so thank you so much for joining me during this conversation. Please like the video, please comment along the way. I love for this to be interactive and to get to know you as well. So let's begin with a quick little testimony. So for me personally, I've been on this journey of money just like we all have. And I've experienced some duality between my root chakra, and I hope that you watched the first video in this series of how the root chakra affects our wealth, and the sacral chakra, which is the next one, the one we'll talk about today. I experienced a struggle between these two energies inside of me. The root chakra is what gives us our structure of money. We set a budget. We set a timeline. We set habits, routines, and disciplines with the root chakra. And the sacral is more free. It's more free to spend and have fun and embrace the fact that we've earned this money. Now I don't want to just die a billionaire. I want to live my life, right? And so that energy within me, I had struggles. And then one day I decided I don't want to have struggles like this. Like, how can I get this energy inside of me to be more aligned? And so there were times when I was on my journey of getting in balance, which I'm still on. We're all still on. There's no such thing as someone who doesn't have money blocks. Even Oprah has money blocks that she has to work on, right? But on this journey, I would find myself just in my sacral chakra energy, just like, I'm going to spend, I'm going to buy, kind of just careless and free. I don't want a budget. I don't want rules. If I'm in a store, I'm just going to grab the things that I like. And as I'm cashing out, if one of my kids says, hey, can I get that? Sure, throw it in the cart. Let's go, right? And then what would happen is I'd freak out. I'd be like, wait a second. Okay, hold on. I'm losing way too much money. I don't have any money. I'm broke. And so then I would lock it down and I would go into my root chakra and say, stick to this budget. Don't break the rules. I don't care what they say. I don't care what you ask for. You better not. So the root chakra would then take over and have these beliefs that, you need to sacrifice. You need to budget. And so both of them ended up feeling really negative. It made me feel a lot of negative emotions about money. So when we get into alignment, when we decide like, wait, no, I want all of this to feel good. I want every part of money to feel good. I want to enjoy this. I want to be filled with pleasure. I want money to come to me. I want to be able to spend it with ease. I want money to feel good. Please comment in the description real quick and comment and say, I want money to feel good. Okay? If you're feeling me, comment, I want money to feel good. Okay, so it's about finding this paradise of money flow and continuing to do our inner work and, analyze how money is passing through us. Okay, so I wanted to comment. I've got my notes here just to make sure that I say everything I wanted to say. But the masculine energy of the root chakra, when in balance with the feminine energy of the sacral, they work really good together. Like they're designed for each other, right? And so the energies are polarized and magnetic. And so when you get these two energies inside of you to feel like they're in harmony, watch your money grow. Watch your bank account increase. It's so transformational. Even on the step that I'm in, and I'm not finished doing all of my inner work, but even on the step that I'm on, I have seen such an increase in my wealth and in my abundance. I am so thankful to God for all of the blessings that I have been able to receive. And so I want to share with you guys some of these tips. Okay, so number one that we said we were going to talk about this connection between the sacral and money. So it is, how much do you enjoy money, right? And so the first thing you want to do is analyze, what struggles are you having with money? So if the sacral energy is about pleasure, the opposite of that would be struggle. So if you want to have more pleasure, you have to identify, what are my struggles? And the struggles are usually going to be a belief. It's either going to be a struggle directly with money or a struggle with a person about money. Okay? So I want you to take a moment and think about, what weird love-hate energy do you have with money? Is your relationship with money solid? Like, I love it. I just love it. I just love money. I love it. I love it. I love it. Like you're in love with a relationship, like with your spouse or your partner. I just love them, right? Or do you have this rocky, I love money, I hate money. I love money, I hate money. And it's like this back and forth where money doesn't know how you're feeling today. like money's thinking, should I come to you? Is this a good day for me to make a deposit into your bank account? And so some ways that this comes up is, and this was one of the ones I experienced, is suspicious about money. Okay, so if money was coming around, or if there was an opportunity, or if there was a chance I could take, or if there was something I could accept, was there suspicion in me or resistance in me towards that money? Okay, and if so, why? I'm not saying that that's not a legitimate reason. I'm saying to explore what the reason is. Self-awareness, self-awareness, self-awareness. Okay? Also, what weird energy, like love-hate energy about money could be is, I'm gonna work really hard. It's gonna be pretty miserable. I'm gonna do some overtime. It's probably gonna be an 80-hour work week this week. But when I get through all of that, it'll be worth it. It'll be fun. I'll be able to do it. I hear this so much from my clients who say to me, like, I just need to hustle a little harder. I just need to work a little more. I just need to pick up a side job. I need to pick up a side hustle. You're making money seem like work, like exhaustion. Money's gonna come to you hard if that's the case. Money's gonna be dragging its feet to get to you. And so this, to me, it just doesn't make sense that you would think, and it's no judgment, I've thought this before too, but it makes no sense if you really think about it, that you have to have misery first in order to get the money. Like, the whole thing can be enjoyable. And that might sound impossible to you right now, depending on where you are in your consciousness. And once again, no judgment. I've shared with you guys that I've come a long way, and I started off at a pretty low spot. But ask yourself, like, in what ways do I feel like I have to struggle in order to earn money? And what would it look like if every part of money was enjoyable? What parts would I need to adjust in my life right now to make money more enjoyable? Okay? And then ask yourself questions about your relationship with other people and money. So, how does money affect your relationship with your spouse? How does money affect your relationship with your kids? How does money affect your relationship with your business, right? So, an example of this with business is that, are you at the point, like the love-hate relationship, right? So, okay, you've got a business and you say, I would love more clients. If I have more clients, I'll make more money. But then when a few more clients come, because you just attracted it in, so it worked, right? You said, I want more clients came. But then struggle mode kicks in and you go, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. This is too much. These clients are annoying me. They're so needy. Then the money says, oh, you hate this. Oh, you don't like this. Okay, I'll take the clients away. Do you see how that works? It's like you were able to attract it and the struggle made it go right back away. And so the key to fixing that solution is having it be pleasurable the whole time. I want more clients. Oh, I've got more clients. Oh, I love my clients. Oh my goodness, they are, they are getting all of the impact that I wanted them to get out of this, right? And so how can you make the entire experience more pleasurable? Okay, same thing with money and your spouse. So what struggles come up? Is there a controlling aspect? Is there are you okay seeing your spouse enjoy money? That's a deep one right there. If your spouse is enjoying the money they've earned and they go and get something, how do you treat that? Right? How do you treat your spouse when that happens? Okay? And maybe the struggle, you're having this weird struggle, love-hate relationship with money, with yourself, right? So maybe you're having a spiritual conflict. I know that I was raised in a faith that made me think that being rich had an evil connotation with it. And so that took a lot of unprogramming too, that I do believe that there is a level of greed, which we talk about with the sacral chakra, that is evil, right? And that's when your sacral chakra is so open, there's this gluttonous greed to all this pleasure where it now affects your everyday relationship, your everyday habit. It's actually not serving you. So you think that you're enjoying it so much and there's so much pleasure out of it, but it's actually to your detriment. So we want to have healthy boundaries and healthy alignment when it comes to enjoying the sacral energy. Put some comments on here. Let me know if this is making sense, if this is registering, if you can relate to the idea of wanting to spend money, but also wanting to save it and keep it. All right, let's move on to number 2. So number 2 is understanding money as a flowing water source, okay? So with this, we want to understand that money likes movement, okay? And so I like to explain this with an analogy of a bucket, okay? So I want you to imagine that you have a bucket of water and it's filled all the way up to the brim, okay? And now that you've got your bucket full of water and you're fully satisfied, okay, I filled my bucket with water, now you're so attached to it that you just let the bucket sit. Now, I think we all know how gross water can get when it just sits in a bucket, especially for a long period of time. but it becomes stagnant, okay? This represents a closed sacral chakra where you have attracted the money in, you filled up the bucket, and now you are putting a lock on it. You're like, this is my money and it ain't going nowhere, okay? This is not going to it's not able to flow, and for that reason, it will not reproduce. It will not increase. It will not grow, okay? You've put a lock on the pleasure. You've lost the purpose of the money. It was never to come and keep and to hoard. That wasn't the reason why it was attracted to you in the first place. It thought it would move. And so when this bucket gets stagnant, what ends up happening is that you end up having a negative relationship with the money. You have a negative relationship with the bucket of water. You are protective of it. You could even end up having a hatred for it. So once again, it's this love-hate relationship with money that you don't want to have hatred for the money, okay? You could even resent it, that it's sitting there, okay? On the flip side, when the sacral chakra is super open, I want you to imagine that same bucket, but imagine that you keep dumping it, okay? So this is when you have no savings, you are very sporadic in your spending, you're very impulsive, and so the water, sometimes it fills to the bucket, and you say, no, I'm gonna be disciplined, I'm gonna save it, I'm not gonna touch it, but then you have so much resentment that you couldn't spend it, and you're like, I'm just saving it up, okay, I got another couple drops I put in here, all right, and you get so frustrated that you say, I never get to enjoy it, I never get to spend it, so I'm dumping this thing out, right? And so it's just like, okay, total spill over here. And I think we can all relate to a purchase or something that we did like that, where it was like, you know what, I never buy myself new clothes. And then you go to the mall or you go online and you fill up your cart and you're like, I'm on Fashion Nova, and before you know it, you've spent hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. So it is this impulsiveness that also can build up hatred, right? Because you're getting frustrated that this bucket is never full. Like it's never done. Why can't I get this bucket full? Even though you know you're the one that keeps kicking the bucket and kicking the bucket. Okay, so those are the two polar opposites. A bucket that sits with water and a bucket that keeps spilling. I want you to get rid of the buckets, okay? The buckets are just limited containers with a limited capacity anyways. I would rather you think of money as a sacred spring, okay? So imagine that you come to a wide open clearing in a beautiful field and you see a natural spring of water. It brings you joy. That is the money source. You see the money and it flows up. You know that underneath the ground is a deep well of abundance, that this water has an unlimited source. And so when money comes to you, that's how I want you to view it. I want you to see the money as this unlimited source, and a little just came to you. And then a little more just comes to you. And the more you honor the water, the more you're grateful for it, the more connected you are to it, the more pleasure you experience from it, the more the water springs a little higher. And so imagine that the source is completely unlimited, but is responding to your vibe, and that it is listening to you. Okay, so this is the energy of money. It is constantly listening to the vibe that you're giving. And so when you say, oh my gosh, this is so amazing, I'm gonna take this water, I'm gonna drink it, it's gonna nourish me, and then the spring goes, oh, you like that? A little bit higher and a little bit higher and a little bit higher, until you have this water fountain and you're standing in a fountain of water that's just feeling like, what's that? What are those springs, like the water parks where you see the little kids and the springs are just popping up? We have that here in Buffalo, New York. It's in our Martin Luther King Park, where it is like this humongous, beautiful park. and all these water springs, and you see the kids just running around, and like they'll go up to the spout and they'll wait, and they wait for it to come out, and then it just comes out and they're like, yay, like all the joy that they experience. That is what I want you to feel like every time that you get money. Okay. All right. So what is the crucial part about making sure that you are envisioning money as a sacred spring? Two things. One is that it can come from anywhere. And two, that it has the freedom to go anywhere. That is true flow. And so when you believe in your core that this money can come from anywhere, it opens you up to limitless possibilities. So some examples is your money can come from your spouse, and allowing and receiving that from your spouse as a gift. It can come from an inheritance. Sometimes even unknown kin might leave you a surprise inheritance. You never know. Investments that are just multiplying from previous times that you received money and you said, oh, I'm going to put it over here, I'm going to put it over there, I'm going to invest in my future, I'm going to invest in myself. Settlements, surprise bonuses. I've known so many people that have attracted bonuses because they were enjoying it so much, and their employer was just like, you deserve a bonus. You are just killing it. You're loving it. It feels so good to give you a bonus. It could be banks competing, right? And so banks just saying, I'm going to give you an extra $600 if you open up an account over here. Okay. I'm open to that. Okay. I'm open to that because I believe that money can come from anywhere. Okay. And I believe that my money multiplies, right? So that's the creation. So sacral energy is also the creation energy. It's our womb space. It's where we literally procreate. And so money multiplies here. We take that money and we put it into opportunities that make more money, and it feels so good, and it comes back to us, and then we get more. So you might be saying, well, I don't know where to put my money. We'll get into that with the solar plexus, so continue to watch the series. But for this one, I just want you to feel comfortable with allowing money to come in and allowing money to go out. And I want you to ask yourself, when are the times where it feels bad to have money go out? When you are literally like this with the money, like, I know I don't want to accept any money from someone who seems like it's hurting them to give to me. Okay. And so notice, what is your current mindset? Are you sitting with a bucket? Are you having a spilled bucket or a sacred spring? So go ahead and put that in the comments. All right. So let's move on to number 3, how pleasure attracts more money. So you would be surprised how receptive people are to you when you are enjoying the money that you have. Let's say you're at a store and you're buying something and you are just smiling and you are loving it. And then someone says, you know what, like someone behind the counter, maybe an employee says, you know what, I'm going to throw this in as well. Throw this in for free. There are so many times when I've activated my sacral chakra and I have been blessed with abundance. Or, I get a little sliver of cake and I'm like, oh my gosh, this tastes amazing. Thank you so much. I'm loving this. This is delicious. How did you make this? And then they'll wrap up the whole cake for me and say, here, take the rest. So it works. It is the attraction, like pleasure breeds more pleasure because now they're going to feel good to give you more. So this is your ability to receive, to accept it in. Okay. And if you struggle with receiving, this is something to really work on. Then I highly recommend that you focus on your sacral chakra for your energy work and say, you know what, I have a hard time receiving. I feel more comfortable giving, but if someone receives, I feel like I have to instantly give them something in return, or I feel awkward receiving. Those are all things that you can work on in your sacral chakra focus. Okay. So I have a couple more examples. So if you make it fun, people are going to want to give to you. So I have an example of a book fair. So I went to a book fair and I was so excited to be there because I had my book. This is my children's book that I was selling. So I'm also a published author of Money Smart Kids. This one is my baby because I sat for years just coloring all these pictures for the book with colored pencils. So it's truly a labor of love. I am very proud of my art and the storyline that goes with it. So the fact that I was at a table and I had all my books laid out, I had my sign, I made some little matching wallets. Because this book is the Saver, Are You a Saver or a Spender budgeting book for kids. And so there's like these little wallets that go with it. It was super cute. So I'm loving just being at the table, okay? I can't even tell you how many people came up and just wanted to like talk to me, just wanted to hear my story. And one person would buy a book from me and I'd be like, thank you so much, because it's an honor. Like I was like, you like my work, like you like what I did. This is so exciting. And someone else would see how excited I got by them buying the book, and they came up to me like, well, how much is it? I want, I'm interested. And then they would buy the book. I was so busy at this fair, and I swear my cheeks were sore at the end. I was smiling from ear to ear the whole time because it was bringing me so much pleasure. I was just like, oh my God, the feedback was amazing. Like that was one of the best events that I've been to in a long time as far as like book sales and stuff like that. So it was amazing. So here's some tips that you can use in your business and in your life to make it more fun, make it more attractive. Number one, when you're doing your marketing strategy, market your products according to how much pleasure the client or the customer is going to receive. So fear tactics, get that mess out of here. Being super detailed in all of the description. Like, for example, if you were to tell me, I don't know, like let me just grab the closest thing to me. You're selling me a remote, okay? And so if you say to me, well, this remote is high definition and it's got 22 more buttons than the average remote control, and like just like all these like boring details about the remote, yeah, maybe I'll want to know that on the back end, but that's not going to get me in the door. Like that's not going to attract me in. I want to know how this made you feel. So when you're doing your marketing for your business, explain how much pleasure this thing brought you and how much pleasure it's going to bring me. And just say, oh my God, I love this. I could just sit back on my couch and totally relax. And I don't have to lift a finger, and I can just turn the channel and turn the volume and do whatever. I mean, obviously we all know what a remote is. But what I'm saying is describe how it's going to bring the person pleasure in your marketing, okay? Let's see. So I want you to think about where you're making it look painful, when you're making, even when you're releasing money or giving it, even when you're being generous, but there's like a pain attached to it. I just want you to notice when you are choosing a struggle over the pleasure, okay? All right, very good. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up. I wanna give you some tips on how to infuse more pleasure into your money. So just practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect. Practice celebrating your income at whatever level it is now. Practice bringing more pleasure and flow. When you're bringing it in, make it more enjoyable. And when you're letting it go, have it be more enjoyable. Understand that it's a blessing that it ever came to you in the first place, and that it's not meant to stay with you forever. And so use affirmations, use journals. And so I have this journal here that I made. This is the Sacral Chakra Journal, and it's specifically meant to help you flow, enjoy more. Okay, so I'll link this in the description box. It is available on Amazon, and I love it because it helps you with your self-awareness so much. I put a lot of tips in here on how to recharge your sacral chakra. There's even a quiz that you can take to see what status your sacral chakra is at right now. But some of the journal chapters in here is enjoying the present moment, relaxation throughout the body, open to being creative and receiving in creative ways, feeling attractive to yourself, sitting with your beauty, allowing yourself to feel in the moment, having an active sex life, having fun, playful energy, flexible and comfortable hips, especially when you're walking, find pleasure in everyday simple things, and so much more. This investment is nothing when you think about the revelations that you'll get out of it and how healing this energy is going to make your life more enjoyable, your relationships more enjoyable, and your money more enjoyable. How to just enjoy the things that you're getting. One of the things I do want to add is I used to have, when I did buy, I bought things just because they were on sale or just because they were cheap or just because it was available. Sacral chakra energy is about holding the pose until something that lights you up allows it to release. So it's not about just letting it go and kicking the bucket. It's about that sacred spring, about this experience is going to be worth it. This one thing is worth my investment. This piece, even though it's way more expensive, is the one piece that I really want. This is the one that's going to light me up. And so when you continue to choose things that light you up and light you up and light you up, you begin to expand. Your money expands because your radiance expands. It is your radiance that will expand first. It is your energy and your ability to enjoy that will expand before your money does. So I love you. Please like this video. Please subscribe. And please share it with someone that you think it will bless as well. That is one way that you can help me grow my channel and get this into, more people's living rooms, more people's phones. So I love you. Thank you. God bless and namaste.